Pisces, hello, welcome to your February reading. My name is Victoria. This is Veritas Tarot. I am using the Life Coaching Oracle to give you the overriding theme for the reading for you for February, along with some animal tarot to go a little bit deeper into the reading for you. If this reading resonates, my darling, you are hearing it within your divine design. And if it resonates, or I resonate as a reader, don't forget to hit that like button, to perhaps subscribe, to have notice of future readings from me, to comment, or to become a member of this channel where I offer some lovely perks. Alongside of that, as my gift back to you, I do offer pay what you can 30-minute readings. So, and all of the details of those are in the description box below. For Pisces, for my darling Pisces, what is the overriding message for today from Spirit? Thank you. What wishes to come out? Old habits are coming out, and environment. Old habits and environment have come out for you. So what this is, let me show you these again. An old habit may be keeping you from moving forward, and the environment is alongside of it. Now is a good time to clear, clean, and declutter your environment. I feel with you, my darling, that you are halting whatever growth that you are wishing for in your life, whatever spiritual growth that you're wishing for within your life, because you're currently repeating things in your life. This is old habits. We all do it. And sometimes we don't even realize that it is a habit, something that we do repetitively, because it's become second nature to us. So we don't even think about it. But Spirit wants you to think about perhaps what habits in your self-care for yourself, perhaps as a little bit of excess in some or other form of habits that we might consider nice things to do, like a little bit of extra wine or a cigarette, or I don't know, but old habits. It can also be kind of perhaps our perception of ourselves as a habit that is something that is negative. It could be a certain type of relationship that we are attracted to that just brings about the same results for us, which brings about disappointment. I feel it's something within that environment. So whatever, remember, our environment is an extension of our energy. So whatever is an extension of your energy is a reflection of where you are. So if you are feeling stuck in a relationship, in a job, look at perhaps what you have allowed to happen. And when I say allowed, you energetically allowed to happen because of something that you are projecting from yourself, which is permitting this energetic structure to exist within your life. I trust that makes sense at the moment, but I feel that you are experiencing some, well, put it this way. We all go through our life, and when we look at life from the universe's eyes rather than our individual eyes, which is the ego eyes, we have an opportunity, a chance, a moment in every single experience that we have to reclaim our spiritual view of life, because we're not achieving something new, we're reclaiming it. And within that aspect, we are encouraged to do that, because through the reclamation of our spiritual view of life, thank you, Spirit, we can live a life without the old habits that the ego tends to bestow on us, which is one of fearing change, of one of fearing advancement, the one of, I can't do that, I shouldn't do that, I'm not able to do that, I'm not good enough to do that. And actually we embrace change within our lives when we have a spiritual view of life. I trust that makes sense anyway, but I feel that there is experiences at the moment are encouraging you to, declutter, to perhaps, simply perhaps your energetic structure where you live right now is a bit of a mess. So Spirit is saying we have a good old tidy up and get the Hoover out. But I also feel it's perhaps looking at energies in your life and understanding what is good for you and what is not good for you. So let's have a look to see what your challenge is at this time with old habits and environment. Thank you. I think things have turned out the opposite of what you've expected them to turn out, is what Spirit is saying. And we all know our own habits as well, don't we? The gorilla, the Six of Fossils, you're out of balance, my darling. This is the balance card. Perhaps you're giving too much in relationships and you're not receiving the same back. Something is out of balance. Perhaps within this space, you are not able to receive, not able to ask for help and receive it. Perhaps within this space of balance, you are working too hard and not having enough time for rest. So there is, you know that, and this is the old habit that's within you. And there is here within this family group here of gorillas, there is a basic necessity within this group, thank you, Spirit, for them to share knowledge, for them to support one another, for them to encourage one another. And within this place, within the Six of Pentacles, it is a reminder that our life is shown to us as a cause and effect, a law of correspondence. So what we give out, we receive. So think about what you have been projecting out there in terms of what you expect to receive, and how much do you believe that you deserve to receive that at this time. So I feel that is a strong card for you. And the gorilla is also a card of grounding and feeling stable within your environment. I don't feel at this time that there is a stability that you're feeling where you are. And the universe is encouraging you to see the lesson in this. And perhaps this has been a constant within relationships, that you haven't felt supported and you haven't felt stable. It's almost like walking on eggshells. So what in you is that is a habit, perhaps, is looking to appease any relationship, to be something you're not in order for the relationship to flourish. But what about you, my darling? The gorillas are only what they are. They don't try to be anything else, and they give and take accordingly. So it is about not losing yourself in a relationship in order to try and achieve a partnership, a balance, but then we'll become what we are not in order to do that. And then we turn around, and I've done this, my darling, so I can talk from experience, and then we turn around and think, oh my goodness, I wasn't myself. So no wonder I felt that way, or I'm feeling this way. Because I'm trying to be something that I'm not. And actually, when we're not who we are, we're not in accord with ourselves. We're not in vibrational accord with our lives. We're not in vibrational accord with the universe. We things tend to halt, things tend to change. There tends to be chaos, because the universe will give us experiences in order for us to reclaim not only who we are, but that spiritual view of life as well. Which allows then for us to feel so much better. So let's have a look at your past. Thank you, Spirit, for Pisces, the seeker of fossils. So I feel that you have always, thank you. I want to take one more card, please, before this energy. Thank you. What has led to the King of Pentacles? Thank you. I think I know. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah. So I feel you have gone through decisions, big decisions in your life. And there is within you you're a very nurturing individual. You do surprise people at times as well. But you've made a decision because there is something not working in your life. And I come back to this old habits and environment. There's something not working in your life, and you're making a choice now, a direction, a judgment call on this. The judgment call on this with the judgment card here. And it's something that is both within your thoughts and within your feelings. So those are in accord at the moment. And actually your intention and focus is on this spiritual growth. You may not see it as spiritual growth, but you want to expand beyond where you are right now with the environment where you are right now. And I feel that, and this is a very almost recent past for you, you have been on what you might call a bit of a journey, a bit of a laborious journey, and you may have achieved various successes in relationships. You might perceive them as the opposite, but actually they've been spiritual successes, because each one of them has taught you something new. And maybe some of those relationships have been a bit of a harder slog than you might want to admit, kind of going up the mountain, but they've all contributed to this extraordinary individual you are today. Now, as this Knight of Pentacles, you are very dependable, you're very loyal, you're very trustworthy. And you want to succeed. You're not laissez-faire about life. You have an approach which is one of determination. And so what is happening right now, because this is in the past affecting the present, that there is an environment created by spirit, an experience created by spirit, by the universe at the moment, which is suggesting to you that perhaps you just clean up your environment. You clean up. It's a recognition of what we are as energy and what surrounds us as energy. And maybe it's a releasing, a letting go of individuals in your life. It's not a pushing them out the door, but it's, it's not a shooing them off with the broom, but it's a certain just okayness if they were just to fall away from your life, dissolve out of your life, because you recognize that they are not there. They're not for your greatest good. You don't feel in balance when you're around them. You don't feel that connection. And sometimes, well, not sometimes, all times, in order for new things, in order for us to grow, we have to move beyond that comfort zone. And also, in order for new experiences and new people to come into our lives, we have to make that intention that that's what we desire. But also, the old has to disappear because it has to make way for the new. There is only so much saturation of events and people experiences that we can experience, literally. So I feel that you have, and the word discernment is catching my eye. You have been very good at being discerning in this past situation, which is leading to the present. And that is a very good energy to have at this time. And I also feel that you have at all times not tried to be anything other than nurturing and kind. And you certainly haven't been one that has risen up for conflict or wanting to argue your way through this. You've always looked to take the peaceful approach to everything in your life. And there is a very, very, very gentle energy about you, my darling. And the gorillas here are sitting there in a beautiful energy. So this is, this has been pointed out by Spirit as something that is a beautiful gift that you have. And it is something, an aspect of your growth. But when we are very gentle and people are very gentle and very kind, sometimes others may take advantage of that. They may not do it consciously, but they may take advantage. And that's why this Six of Pentacles has appeared as your challenge to understand that if you are giving too much and not receiving in return, then perhaps the only thing that's keeping an environment existing within your life is the attention and loving energy that you're giving it, as opposed to something that is meant to be for you. So let's have a look at your conscious, your as above card. Thank you. You've got the Bearer of Justice and you've got the Four of Swords. And let's have a look at the subconscious. Thank you. And you've got the Tower. So I feel, thank you. I feel for that at this time, your environment is changing, because this is the Quickener, the Tower in your subconscious. And if it's not already showing as a big change for you, it will happen soon as what may appear to be a chaotic change. But what is effect happening is chaos cause has an omnipotent symphony. There is a cause for this, there's a reason for this, and it's to bring you back into vibrational alignment. It's to bring you back into who you are, and it's to assist you, to help you to live your life for your greatest joy, your greatest good. That's why every experience, we can choose to see it as the ego and the identity as something that's happened to us, or we can choose to see it from the soul perspective. It's happened for us. It's a lesson. It's a gift for us to shift an awareness. And all of the shifting and the releasing and the expansion is all for our greatest joy. It's all for us to live life without the blinkered lens of an individual who has to battle and has to control life and is not against everybody else, but it is alone. And it is to come back to the spiritual view of life, that everything is connected and we are all connected and we are all simply the universe experiencing itself. So you are consciously very aware that you are going through a process of healing. This is the Strength card. So again, this is the gentle courage that you are showing at this time, the gentle approach. And again, you're not allowing, it's about you not wanting or not allowing people to, you use that gentle power you have and strength you have to not let people overcome you, my darling. And I feel as well that you are, there's a sort of, not a nesting, well, there is a sort of nesting going on. You maybe have children as well, but I feel that your circle, your environment is getting smaller and smaller, and perhaps there has been a little bit of a clearing and a cleaning out of energies within your environment. You may feel it's very small at the moment, but it's very necessary for you, and it's something the universe is encouraging, spirit's encouraging you to do, because when we are going through a process, a very important process of healing, you know, that comes because of the tower, the chaos, the abrupt change in our life, it's important that we are in solitude. It's important that we are selective about who we're with, and the universe helps us with that as well, because we being in solitude, being alone, is when we actually go through the biggest transformation, and we don't get distracted or confused or disillusioned by anybody else's perceptions of life, however kind they may be or critical they may be. We are within our own pure perception during this time, and you know, there is then the spiritual habit of beautiful insights coming through when we're sitting quietly, not being distracted by things. So and through the heartache and the heartbreak that you have gone through, there is a settling of understanding now, which is beautiful, and you're choosing to walk away from drama. You're choosing to actually look at this spiritually now, to look at this as always you have done in your life, my darling. I don't know if you've always been spiritual, but you've always had a very gentle spiritual view of life, and this is only reinforcing this situation now. But there is an old habit within you, and I feel that that is it's that balance of give and take, and so many go through this lesson, maybe a lesson after a lesson after a lesson, and finally they get the exam, and the exam is the tower, put it this way. But this is in your subconscious, so I feel that you have created whatever changes happened in your life. You may have done it subconsciously, but you've put a message out there that this was to change, that you, within your discernment of the situation, within your understanding of the situation, with your understanding about how you felt within this situation, within this relationship, whatever this is for you, my darling, you made a decision with your direct perception of pure soul loving energy to affect change in your life, and change is happening or has happened, but it is all for you, my darling. It's all for your spiritual evolution. And then I'm seeing the star here, so this is a recognition of you to understand that this isn't just any old hurt. This is a traumatic hurt for you. And, you know, that trauma can appear in many different forms within us. So to recognize what's being reflected back at you at this time. But all of this is to say that there is so much to, because of what you are looking at yourself, looking at your life, looking at what's been reflected at you, looking at the bigger picture, looking deeper, going beyond the surface, all of it right now is a wonderful example, Spirit is saying, of your dedication and encouragement and your approach to life, which is full of an innocence and a purity and an honesty, which is going to allow you to come into this wonderful full expression of who you are. There's the peacock here as well, to illuminate. It's the illuminator. You're going through a time, and to illuminate something is to let there be light. And light represents that beautiful clarity and awareness and peace and joy. And things are illuminating now in your life, and you're recognizing it as well. Let's have a look at your sort of, I'm going to say, near future. So I saw that on the bottom of the deck. So you've got here the Seer of Branches, which is the Knight of Wands. Now, this I feel is you, my darling. Thank you. And basically the Knight of Wands in this position is you. There's the Eight of Cups with walking away. You deciding where you want to give your attention and energy now. I mean, I love this little expression on this fox's face. He's now focused on what he desires, not on anything else. He's done this bridge of change. You've gone from A to B. The Tower created those experiences for you. Remember, the Tower was the old structure, the old habits falling away. And now a new structure, a new expanded structure has come in. Maybe you've traveled as part of this as well. Some of you have traveled, but you're not afraid now to venture out. You are a bit of an adventurer. You're very curious about what's going to happen next. You're very interested in something at this time. And I'm getting curious, George. It's that sort of wonderful childlike energy too. But the fox is also to say you're very, very bright. You're very clever. And you're very clever at and it's a clever and a lovely way of overcoming things with that wonderful resonant sort of approach you have. You always say just the right thing to yourself as well as others, but you're not going to let any challenge, you're going to see it as a challenge. You know, it's almost like, okay, I can do this. And maybe you haven't had the opportunity to try all these new challenges you're going to have in the future, but they're good challenges. You know, they're not anything scary challenges. That the Tower is the scary thing, but it was necessary. And you've come through that beautifully, or are coming through it beautifully. Tell me about the Seer of Branches. Thank you, Spirit. Of course, it's the Ace of Branches on the bottom of the deck and the Wheel of Fortune. They are saying, do you know what? Can you really leave this as a surprise and delight for you? Because this is something they're really good at doing. They're saying, Spirit is saying, it's something that is going to be a beautiful serendipitous coincident moment, which is always, always, always something that's opening a door to something beautiful, something wonderful for you, something you've done in past lifetimes as well. And because it's a sacred spinner, I don't know, I feel this is something to do with as part of your reclaiming your spiritual view, perhaps some spiritual gifts that you have, that it's time for you to start realizing that actually, like a spider, you are pretty good at them. But there is something beautiful coming in that only you as a soul have chosen to do. Now, that simply means that, you know, for example, there are many different tarot readers out there, but in each and every divine design moment, those that have come to listen to me will have listened to me, have chosen as a soul to do so within that divine design, just like other tarot readers will also receive those that are meant to listen to them in that particular moment. So there is something with this Ace of Wands that I feel has your attention already, or you feel something about it, but it's where you're deciding now, you're doing things for yourself, finally, just for yourself, even however hard that may be, but you are, it's like a sort of a lighter release, a weight is coming away from you. Something has been cut out of your life or will be cut out of your life in order to make way for this new growth for you. And it's young, and it's something that you may feel, no, you're excited about it. I mean, with anything that's young, we have great ideas for it, and we wonder, don't we, about where it's going to go and how it's going to develop. But, you know, there's something rather remarkable about just letting things unfold the way they're meant to, and remembering that everything that we're desiring to be, we already are, and we're just given experiences to allow us to reclaim that. Everything is there within us already. We're just experiencing it when we're given events and circumstances for us to realize that. So, and that is beautiful, my darling. You've got the Honey Awakener, the Lovers. And as you're going about your lovely day, and as you're being showered with gifts of things blossoming in your life, your desires, your manifest blossom in your life, and coming away from that old energy as well, my darling, you're going to get a little surprise. That's what Spirit is saying, a wonderful surprise. This is two little busy honeybees that are intuitively leading their lives, spontaneously leading their lives, loving what they do, and bees represent community, the right soul group, but also those that do good for others, those that do it with grace, those that do not want to get into any kind of drama or a fight. That's the honeybee, that's the bumblebee. Bees, if they sting, they die. So it's absolutely shy away from all of that. And I feel you're just going to have a spontaneous moment where you're going to meet somebody, and you're going to immediately recognize who they are. So that is what is coming in for you. But it is, as you know, it is something that comes within its divine design. So let go of when and how, let the universe do that, and you focus on what you're desiring right now, my darling. But remember that your desire is not, and I know that you know this, your desire, my darling, is what can you do for you. This is about you. This is about you getting to know you all over again. I feel you knew yourself very, very well at one point, as the Earth Mother, as the Empress. But then I feel that was lost, and it's so easy to lose ourselves in relationships when we're looking to hold on to something or to make somebody else happy. But I think you're coming out of this, or I know you're coming out of this, more aware, more knowing about what's right for you. And I think there's a little bit of a spring in your step, but there's certainly a little buzz around you at this time. Let's put it that way. So there we are, Pisces. That is your reading, my darling, for February. Do check out those daily readings and the weekly relationship readings that I also do. And I will be looking to do an elemental star sign this month for you, as well as part of the water signs. But in the meantime, have a rest of a beautiful day. Take care, my darlings. Bye-bye.